She collapsed in the kitchen. One moment, she was there stirring soup, softly humming the lullaby she once sang to our little girl. The next, her body dropped to the floor like a puppet with its strings cut. Her limbs went limp, lifeless. The sound was sharp, final, a heavy thud that shattered something deep within me. By the time we got to the hospital, she was out cold. Machines took over her breathing, her chest rising in rhythm with their hum. Wires snaked into her veins. A tube slid down her throat. The mechanical buzz of life support drowned out everything else. Doctors spoke in vague maybes, their voices wrapped in white coats and fatigue. But a nurse said the words that shifted the ground beneath me. She stopped me in the hallway, voice shaking, eyes wide with urgency. "Please," she whispered, "bring your daughter. Now." I didn't get it. But I didn't argue. I found Emma in the waiting room, her tiny hands curled into fists. When I held her hand, it was icy, like her warmth had stayed behind in that kitchen with her mother. We stepped into the ICU, and what we saw inside didn't just take my breath. It erased it. There she lay, my wife, pale and motionless, her body held together by machines. But she wasn't alone. A man was beside her, clutching her hand, whispering her name like a broken prayer. He looked up as we walked in, and my gut twisted. I knew him. Her coworker. The one she occasionally had lunch with. The same guy I'd once clinked glasses with at an office party. Shook hands with the man now holding her like he had any right to mourn. When his eyes met Emma's, he stood up. "You must be her daughter," he said. "No," I told him. "She's mine." They say betrayal creeps in slowly, a quiet decay that eats away at you bit by bit. But in that instant it was sudden and violent. Blast. The next hour passed in a daze. Nurses asked questions I couldn't process. Emma tugged on my sleeve, whispering if Mom would be okay. I kept my voice calm, my face composed. But inside, a cold emptiness spread wide. We'd been married 15 years. 15 years of shared calendars, morning routines, late-night snacks. I was the dreamer, the builder. She was the anchor, nurturing, thoughtful, warm. Or so I believed. I remembered hushed conversations while our baby slept between us. Her hands on my face, promising, "I will never lie to you." And I believed her. God help me, I believed her. The red flags had been waving. Eyes that dodged mine. Late work meetings. Laughter that stopped when I walked in. Then last month, Emma pulled a note from her lunchbox. A love note, tender and private. She thought it was meant for her. I knew better. I didn't confront her. Not then. That night, while Emma slept, I sat in the garage staring at the toolbox she gifted me on our 10th anniversary. "To my forever," etched in silver. Forever, I realized, had an expiration date. So I stopped grieving and started investigating. I synced her iCloud to my laptop, installed quiet tracking software. Silent, invisible, waiting. And then everything poured in. Texts, emails, deleted photos. He called her sunflower. She called him always. Always. That was our word. I traced her steps. No yoga sessions. Just room 409 at the Rosewood Hotel. Took pictures. Kept logs. I thought she was leaving me for him, until the toxicology report shattered that theory. It wasn't stress that brought her down. She'd been poisoned, and not by me. I dug deeper. Her precious sunflower had secrets. A messy history. An ex-wife with a restraining order. 2 former lovers, both dead from accidental overdoses. It was all there, hidden in plain view. He was poisoning her slowly. Prepping to erase me and take our daughter. I don't know if she realized or just chose to look away. At that point it didn't matter. I had everything I needed to end them both. I stayed quiet. Let the tests run. Let the doctors speculate. Meanwhile, I met with a lawyer, updated my will, shifted everything into a trust under Emma's name, froze our accounts. 3 days later, when she finally woke, full custody papers were already filed. A restraining order for him was pending. Divorce documents waited for her signature. But I wanted one last scene, public, clear, final. I invited them to dinner. Told her I needed closure. We met at her favorite Italian spot, the one we used to visit on anniversaries. White tablecloths, candlelight, soft music. She looked drained. He looked arrogant. I slid a folder across the table. "Before we eat," I said. My tone calm, almost polite. Inside were photos from the hotel, message logs, GPS data, toxicology results, and my custody petition. He went stiff. He turned pale. "You tried to replace me," I said to her. Then turned to him. "And you tried to erase her."